Good morning, everybody. I'll call this recommending committee meeting of April 6, 2010 to order. Are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, we are.
First item is bill number 2010-13, revises and updates provisions governing, I don't know what that says, master sign plans, master sign plans, and 2, general plan amendment and rezoning decisions, proposed by Mary Margot Wheeler, Director of Planning and Development. She's not here, but Mr. Flynn Flagg is, right?
Correct. Flynn Flagg with the Planning Department. As you've read, Councilman, this addresses two separate topics. The first one is relative to master sign plans, and what the ordinance is intended to do is to clarify the purpose of master sign plans. When a sign plan is elective, what it states is that the standard shall be equal or more restrictive than what is typically required by code. This is to address a loophole that we've had where people have been using a master sign plan to get around doing a variance for signage. And again, what we want to do is just clarify the purpose of having a master sign plan. And so that's the first item that this ordinance addresses. The second is relative to rezonings and general plan amendments. Planning Commission and City Council have the authority to recommend more restrictive land use designations or zoning designations when they have an application before them. What we've done is clarified that where they do recommend that a more restrictive land use designation or zoning designation be placed on a portion of a site, that it needs to follow parcel lines. For example, if you have a large master plan community or a large development that incorporates several parcels and council wants to designate a portion of it with a more restrictive zoning designation, what this states is that it just follows parcel lines. And so it's not a nebulous boundary that you're creating by recommending a more restrictive designation. The second thing that this does is it eliminates the language saying that you place conditions of approval on a general plan amendment and rezoning. Actually, our practice is to place conditions of approval on a site development plan review application. And so we've taken out that language as well. And that clarifies that point relative to the ordinance.
Great. Any recommendations for approval of this ordinance?
Correct.
Okay. Questions, Councilman? No. Questions by anybody in attendance? Okay. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Bill number 2010-14 clarifies the authority of the city traffic engineer regarding residential parking permit zones, sponsored by Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian.
I'll make this presentation, Councilman. We do have Mr. Cervantes from Public Works and Karen Coyne from Detention Enforcement. If there are any questions, this is a bit of cleanup. Several years ago, the council established the ability to designate residential parking permit zones, the principal purpose of which is when a zone is established and there are a number of criteria that have to be met. Once it's established, then the traffic engineer could designate time-restricted parking within that zone so that those who don't live in the area could only be there up to 2 or 3 hours, whatever the designation was. There was also language in the chapter that indicated that in addition to that, there could be circumstances where signs could be posted to prohibit anyone from parking within a particular area unless they had a permit, unless they were part of the area. And when we got to actually enforcing that, we realized that there wasn't a perfect match between those two concepts and what the traffic engineer's authority is. So this simply authorizes him specifically not only to establish the time-limited zones, but also to establish restrictions in particular locations where the parking is by permit only. We recommend approval.
Your name for the record?
Oh, sorry, Val Steve.
Mr. Steve, thank you for your report. Any questions, Councilman?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have a motion? I don't know that it's for public comment. But
Oh,
okay.
all right. Motion to approve.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Citizen participation, public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the committee. No subject may be acted upon by the committee unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come to our famous podium and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Any citizen participation? Mr. Steve. You know, Mr. Steve and I took the bar review course together almost 30 years ago. And you started in the city attorney's office almost 30 years ago, did you not?
That's right.
You
And
know,
one of us has been successful.
No, don't say that. We're sitting at the same table wearing a tie and laughing at together. We're both
I
successful.
think he was talking about himself.
Thank you, Councilman.
Motion carries.
I just wanted to clarify that both of these bills will be eligible for adoption at the May 5th, is it?
You know, that announcement makes my day now. So,
April 21st, sorry.
great, great. Any other citizen participation? Chief? Greetings. Anthony? Jace?
Nothing here.
Mr. Assistant City Manager?
No, sir.
Jorge?
Just happy to be here.
Beverly? You want to participate as a citizen at all? Okay, this meeting's adjourned. Sorry I was late.